So my quest for 2100 continues, but in standard chess, in classical time control. I started playing just, normal chess the other day because I was tired and I didn't want to trash my 960 rating, so I just started playing some classical. And, I was surprised by how much I actually enjoyed it. When you're used to playing 960, as I've been for the last 5 years or so, normal chess, it just feels so much more relaxed in the opening. It's almost soothing. It's calming. It feels like an old friend that you forgot you even like. So yeah, I was kind of getting into classical. So I decided I'm going to do some classical commentaries. When it comes to opening theory in classical, I mean I know some, but my goal is to get my opening out of book, because I'm the kind of player who doesn't like to play book lines that have been played 10 million times before. I like the stage of the game where it's original chess, where you actually have to think. So I tend to play just basic opening principles as opposed to openings, though I will go into some lines just because that's the principled way to play. So I will put a seek out, and I will be back in a moment. Okay, I have an opponent rated 1915. I'm rated 2072. This is the opening I tend to play, just a basic Lopez opening, but really with an emphasis on opening principles as opposed to going into the Lopez too deeply. I mean, if you want to get your opponent out of book, you can play b3, but I really haven't had much success with that. It's kind of a whole new opening, and you really have to learn the theory of b3 just to get your opponent out of their own theory. It's a waste of time, to be perfectly honest. Although, if you go into b3 theory, you can have some success with that. Right, it's time to start paying attention. I think there's an opening trick here where if I move my bishop here, he takes the knight, so I'm just going to avoid that. Right, I want to avoid all the opening traps that I don't know, so ideally I just want to advance this pawn there just to avoid all the potential traps that I've suffered from so many times in the past. Is it worth going to there, though? Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I think it is. Because, thrust out, it's much less passive than going to there. Although ideally you want to castle your king before you're thrusting like this, but it seems okay here. And of course if he captures this pawn, then I'm exploiting the pin on his knight when I recapture. Although my ability to exploit that is very limited right now. I think I'm just going to avoid the complexity by going back. That's perhaps not the best move, but I don't know the theory of this position at all, and you can fall into just horrendous traps and losing the opening in standard chess. So I'm very conscious of that. I just want to get to a position that's out of book, where we can just play chess. There's no need to let him advance that pawn for free with a tempo by going to there, so perhaps drop back to there. I mean, I'm sure I'm not playing this opening in an optimal way. In a sense, that's not my goal. My goal is to get out of book as soon as possible and then to play a chess game. I'm not really looking for the optimal line, which will be in book, and he perhaps knows a lot more about than I do. I think just basic developing moves here. Perhaps thinking about pushing this pawn to there at some point. Yeah. Okay, let's just break that pin. I think we're basically out of opening theory at this point, so that this is the position where you can kind of relax and start playing chess. Okay. Yeah, he's thinking about this advance as well, I can imagine. What will I go to there? That seems to be okay. Potentially double his pawns there and weaken his structure if we go down that line. Although you have to be careful there. I mean, sometimes if his pawn advances to there, that can be a strong central structure. I mean, it's double-edged. You know, in some positions when that double pawn can become better. Sometimes it's hard to judge. So this is the kind of position I like, just a normal chess position, open, and you know, we can just play chess from this point. Okay, I'm just gonna push. Potentially pushing there. Do I actually gain so much from that push? At the moment I have a strong centre. Perhaps I should just try to maintain that. It'll be worth checking in the analysis afterwards. See, I advance there. Captures with his pawn. I recapture my pawn. Is that a weak pawn? Although I have a strong open line for my f-rook. I could capture with my bishop, but that would seem like quite a commanding position. What if I was to go there? What's that doing? Not really so much. Well, let's not waste all my time. What about there? Thinking about that. There might be tactical opportunities there. I think I'm just going to play a waiting move, perhaps, and see what he's going to do. Obviously, I'm threatening checkmate, but he's not going to fall for that, I presume. It's just a strengthening of the queen's positions more than threatening checkmate. Yeah. Although, yeah, that was a foolish move because he gets a tempo with his knight now. Yeah. So, is it worth taking with my bishop and advancing my e pawn? No, that would lose a pawn. Okay, let's go back to there. Thinking about advancing this pawn now. Well, I learned from trial and error that was a foolish route to go down, so let's go down another route. So, really established rating. There's not so much that I can really exploit about his position. That's undefended, but he has a fairly compact position. Okay, he's weakened this square now. Is he thinking about advancing there? See, I advance there. Capture with the bishop. Or recapture with the bishop after he captures with his pawn. Or do I try to exploit that square? Perhaps with a knight move, thinking about putting the bishop onto b6. I'm not sure that does so much. I think I'll go down this route. He has a check there with that bishop at some point, but it's not really doing too much. I have to be careful that it doesn't become a discovery, at which point I could lose my queen if his rook was on e8. So this file is open for my rook now. That seems quite good. Yeah. But if I capture there, I would imagine that would become a fairly weak pawn. I'm gonna have to start playing faster. Oh, I didn't realize that he could recapture with the queen. It's certainly not a disaster, but I have to start playing faster now. That's a given. The luxury of time has ended. So yeah, I think this is perhaps slightly better for me, but not by much at all. Okay, if he advances that pawn, I would be losing my queen because I'd have to move that bishop. Okay. Okay, let's just play a move to get out of that because I'm short of time here. Perhaps also get my king to there to avoid any potential trouble in the future. You can easily lose to a tactic that way. Perhaps centralize both my routes by going there and then bringing that route to there, which I have to protect that pawn first. I want to get this rook into the game. And then also, if that rook's protecting the bishop, I can advance the pawn to there, which seems like the way to go. Yeah. So, if I was to go there, I'm actually giving him anything. His rook can come to d2. But is that anything? Yeah. Yes, it is, really. So say I go to there. No, because at the end of all the captures, this pawn will be hanging to his queen. I go to there and threaten the pawn in front of his king. I might play queen g4. Okay, so say if I go to there. Play a recapture there because he may well do that. So now I can attack his queen with my rook on my back rank, and then get my other rook into the game. And also the bishop stops the other rook from coming to that square, which is perhaps useful. Okay, let's just do that. And the bishop's also protecting that pawn. Okay. I think I have to get my bishop out of there. Oh, I really have to start playing faster now. Perhaps I should pin that rook to his king. And also I'll be threatening that pawn with my queen if my bishop moved. Should remember tactically I can always move his queen by taking his bishop with my rook, and he would have to recapture there. That could come into play. That's always in the back of my mind. If he moves this pawn forward perhaps and leaves that rook undefended. Okay. I don't want to advance that pawn. That weaken my king. I think I'll just do that. Perhaps bring my rook to the other file. I need your rook. Okay, what's he threatening? Go to there, perhaps. Perhaps push this pawn. Okay, let's just protect that pawn. Still thinking about pushing this pawn. Got the queen side moving. Presumably he's going to move his rook laterally somewhere. Yeah, he doesn't have so many squares on the file. Okay. Okay. Should I play that? He doesn't have a light square bishop. I think I might get away with that. You can't really pressure that diagonal with his queen at the moment. I think I might move my... I don't think either of our bishops are particularly stronger at this point, so is there any advantage to trying to keep that? Well, I really can't. It's just going to be pinned at some point. Okay. So strengthen that pawn. Comes another check to d4. Let's just stop that check. It's really more about, I mean, I'm also attacking that pawn. It's really more about speed at this point. I can't be looking for the best moves. I'm just going to lose on time if I do that. Okay. I really don't have. Well, if I take that, what's he going to do? He's going to check. Yeah. That could go anywhere. I just don't have the time to calculate that. I'm going to offer a draw in this position because it's fairly even. And he accepted the draw. I was perhaps thinking of going there with my rook to stop his king coming in, but he was coming there. I was thinking, what do I have to do? But it didn't come to pass. He accepted the draw. So let's have a computer analysis of that game. Certainly wasn't a spectacular game in any way. The thing about me, I made my you name tricks and botches, because obviously you can see I had a lot of chess self-esteem at that point. I was saying basically I'm a tricks guy or I completely screw it up. I'm basically crap. because things were going very badly when I made this name. But I really do excel in tricks. But that just doesn't come across in these YouTube videos at all. I don't think I've played a single trick in all of my 11, 12 videos. It's very strange, because tricks is where I excel. Maybe it's the extra stress of playing on YouTube. Maybe 20 videos from now you'll see me playing better. But my 3 checks rating is like 2070, and it's just because of the tricks. I'm so good at the tricks. The tricks is probably why I play chess. That's the one area where I have some talent, not huge talent, but talent can be a very small thing and still be a talent. If you're 2,100 FIDE, that's a talent, but you're nowhere near getting any real recognition in chess. You need to be like 2,300 to get the master title. But anyway, let's have it. Well, as you can see, it was a very even game. He did have the advantage there at some point. What was going on where I had the advantage? I did actually play it quite well. 3 inaccuracies, 0 mistakes, 0 blunders, 17 center-pawn loss. I mean, really, if I had a center-pawn loss of 27, that would be a well-played game. So 17's pretty good. 7 would be basically as good as a chess computer. And he played 16. So I think that sums up why that game went the way it did. He was playing really well as well, and there just weren't the opportunities for the tricks, for the tactics, because he was just playing so strongly and leaving such a lack of weaknesses to exploit. So get games in the Lopez where you have an opponent like that can turn into draws. In fact, we were playing the 4 Knights game. I don't claim to be an opening theory expert. When I say the Lopez, I mean I played the first couple of moves of the Lopez and then just tried to play general principles, but apparently it went into a 4 Knights game. So yeah, I had some kind of advantage here. Did I actually miss a move? Yeah, it didn't like e5. I wasn't sure about that. I remember saying in the commentary, let's look whether e5 was correct. I just didn't see what the alternative was. The alternative was rook a to d1. Just a developing move. Just a calm developing move. Don't thrust forward. Just improve your worst piece. And that is that cliche, which is really good advice. If you don't know what to do, just improve your worst piece, and that's exactly true here. That was the best move. Yeah, so he does that. And better to allow that and give him a knight on. Well, I can capture that, and then yeah, and that pawn is perhaps a weakness. I'm not sure. I mean, those isolated queen pawns, they can be weaknesses or they can be strengths. And to be honest, I lack the theoretical knowledge of that position to really be able to judge with any certainty. So if I'd gone down this line, I did have a slight advantage of 0.7. Yeah. I was thinking about how to do that in the game, but it just never really happened. It was always a distant idea that I never really managed to achieve on the board. Yeah, I certainly like this position a lot more. It seems like a lot more fun than the position I had. My queen can always swing into here. There's endless tactics going on potentially here with rook sacks for a pawn. That's certainly much more the kind of game that I would like to play. But I played e5, which we see was not really a mistake, but certainly an inaccuracy. So I went to there, and it's all pretty much even until here, at which point he had some kind of a significant advantage. I should have put my bishop to there. What did I play? I did that, which gives him an advantage of +1 with this. Oops. If he'd played this check, he has an advantage of +1 on this line. Oh, well that's. I don't think I would have seen a tactic that far ahead, to be honest. Not in this time control anyway. So I should have played. Sorry. I should have played my bishop to b6 here. Yeah. Yeah. This is just roughly equal. Yeah, okay. So here he had perhaps maybe a winning advantage from the computer analysis. What's going on here? Oops. So I should have gone to there at this point. And his advantage is becoming like 1.3, 1.2, so that was a significant error perhaps. I was reluctant to do that because it weakens my king so much, but he doesn't have the white square bishop, so perhaps it's difficult to exploit. Yeah. So there's just no way in a billion years that I would go into this line. There's no way that I would let him take that pawn in exchange for controlling this file. Unless perhaps if it was like a FIDE rated game in a tournament time control, and I looked at it for like 40 minutes, I might maybe 2 games in a billion go into that line, but really no, I wouldn't be going into that line. Okay. So this is really the peak of his advantage here. If he'd taken this, he's 1.3 ahead, which you would think he might be able to convert into a win. If he'd gone into this line. Yeah, I mean he has the pawn advantage in this line. Yeah. But we did this, and it was just a draw from this point on. So I lost 11 points. Somewhat, well, okay. I was going to say somewhat ridiculously, but okay, he's rated 1915, so an even game. I lost 11 points, but yeah, I like classical standard chess. I haven't played it in a long time, but yeah, I'm enjoying it, so I might make some more of these videos in the future. So thanks a lot. I'll see you soon.